Good morning, Manna Church. Welcome back to the third day in this little series that I like to call, But Jesus, I Have a Question. And we talk about Jesus calling his disciples on the first day. We talked about Jesus preaching about overcoming simple worries on the second day. And now we get to join Jesus and his disciples as they get on a boat. Let's read in Matthew 8:23, verse 27. Then he got into the boat, his disciples followed him, and behold, a violent storm developed on the sea so that the boat was being covered by the waves, but Jesus himself was asleep. And they came to him and woke him, saying, "Save us, Lord, we're perishing." And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, you men of little faith?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it became perfectly calm. The men were amazed and said, "What kind of a man is this that even the winds and the sea obey him?" Look, I know as you're reading this passage, you're probably asking the same question that I'm asking. As we look at the disciples and we're like, why are you afraid of this storm when God himself is on the boat with you? I remember a few months ago, I was reading this passage and I was super annoyed with the disciples because I was actively going through a hard time and I felt like they were completely clueless to how good they must have had it in this moment. Like, why are you worrying about the storm that's going on after seeing God do all of these miracles prior to this? Don't you have a little bit of faith in who God is? But that's when the Lord spoke to me and he rebuked me a little bit because he said and asked me the question, when you are in a storm, do you always remember the miracles that I have done for you? Isn't it amazing how every single time we find ourselves in a storm, we forget how God got us through the last storm and then the one before that? If you notice in this story, Jesus is asleep. See, he's asleep because he's God. He knows that nothing can stand against him, and we should have that exact same faith in him too. If you're in a storm right now, whatever you're going through, I know it can be really hard to see clearly and to address all of the circumstances around you clearly. But sometime today, take a moment to reflect on all the storms that God has brought you through, all the things, all the trials and tribulations that God has always persisted and been faithful to you with. Don't allow your faith to be dictated by your circumstances, and remember that no matter what you're going through, God will always be with you and he will always calm the storm. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.